He has made a long journey. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him the best reward and grant all of us ability to listen him carefully and get knowledge and wisdom from him. Brother Suhaib Hussain.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله أحمده وأستعينه وأستغفره وأعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون وقال عز وجل أيضا يرفع الله الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات. And the topic of today that has been passed on to me is the topic of respecting the scholars of Islam. And know that the status of the ulama and the level of respect Allah Azza wa Jal has given to them, it is not ordinary. But in today's so-called times and the modern days, everything has reached its peak, where science, mashallah, has reached its peak. The technology around us has reached its peak. But sadly, amongst the nation of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I know that we are no other nation, and be proud of the fact that we are the nation of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But the sad fact is, even although we have improved in the worldly affairs, that we have learned to degrade the characters and the morals of the believers. The believers and the mu'mineen and the muslimeen and all of them, our characters and our morals towards the scholars is not the way it should be. And it has gone to such an extent where the foul mouths of the mu'mineen, so-called, that they use their words against their learned scholars in a manner which is not suitable. So let us not be in doubt that the greatness of scholars exceeds the limits of virtues. That the greatness of the scholars exceeds the limits of virtues. And I only refer to those scholars who have known to dedicate their lives, their time, their families, their wealth, everything they have, that they have dedicated it for the sake of Allah and His Prophet. They have dedicated it for the search of Islam. They have dedicated it to seek what is halal, what is haram. And not just that, that these scholars who strive, and they strive for the one purpose, and they struggle for the one purpose, and that is to spread the word of Islam in every corner possible. In every corner possible. on this earth, and that is the duty of every Muslim. And he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, in regards to a person who leaves his house for the sake of what? For the sake of seeking knowledge. What does he say? مَنْ سَلَكَ طَرِيقًا يَلْتَمِسُ فِيهِ عِلْمًا يَلْتَمِسُ فِيهِ الْعِلْمَ سَهَّلَ اللَّهُ لَهُ طَرِيقًا إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ. So what does he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam say? For all those who come out of the comfort zone, for all those who wake up early in the morning, for all those who leave their families and sacrifice their time for the sake of Islam and to learn it. مَنْ سَلَكَ طَرِيقًا يَلْتَمِسُ فِيهِ. And whoever takes the path of what? Of seeking knowledge, سَهَّلَ اللَّهُ لَهُ. Then know that the mighty Lord, Allah, the Creator, makes it easy for him to do what? So he may enter paradise without any difficulty. How great, how magnitude is it, how grand is it that that person who leaves his home for the sake of knowledge, Allah, the Almighty, the Creator of the heavens, the Creator of all that which human can see and cannot see, He makes his path easy for him to go to Jannah. And the call is just like Noah, and the call of ours, and the du'at, and the preachers, and the so-called scholars, and everybody put together. And it reminds me of what Noah alayhi salam used to say, قَالَ رَبِّي إِنِّي دَعَوْتُ قَوْمِي لَيْلًا وَنَهَارًا. Oh Allah, I have preached my nation, not just the day, but the whole night. فَلَمْ يَزِدْهُمْ دُعَائِي إِلَّا فِرَارًا. But the sad thing is that every time I call them, and every time I preach them, and every time I tell them to come closer to Allah, فَلَمْ يَزِدْهُمْ دُعَائِي إِلَّا فِرَارًا. They don't do anything except go further, go further. And so is the case of the Ummah today. But let the scholars of today be reminded, and let the laymen amongst us know that the greatness of the ulama in Islam is not a small status. For He, Allah Azza wa Jal says, يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ. For indeed, the Almighty Allah, He raises the status of those آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ, from those who believe in Allah. And believing is a tough job, for it is a ghaibiyat. They are things that cannot be seen. آمَنْتُ بِاللَّهِ, and you cannot see Allah. وَمَلَائِكَتِهِ, but you cannot see the angels. وَكُتُبِهِ, and some of the books you have not seen. وَرُسُلِهِ, and the prophets you have not seen. وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ, and the day of judgment has not come. وَالْقَدْرِ خَيْرِهِ وَشَرِّهِ مِنَ اللَّهِ, and the predestination no one has the knowledge of. So believing is not an easy job. يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ, and all those who believe in Allah with steadfastness. They are firm, they are steadfast. Upon what? Upon belief. وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ, and everyone that seeks the knowledge of path, or seeks the path of knowledge, Allah, the Almighty, raises their status, raises their ranks, raises their rewards. And this is only for those who seek knowledge for the sake of Allah. And in a hadith, he sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, Inna Allah, now listen to it carefully, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu wa ahlu samawati wal ardina hatta an-namla fi juhriha wa hatta al-huta yusalluna ala al-muallim. Know that he sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentions a hadith, and the hadith is great, and it tells us how grand, how great a scholar is. What does he sallallahu alayhi wasallam say? Inna Allah, indeed the master, the creator, the Lord of the heavens, wa malaikatuhu, and not just him, the Lord, but know the angels also, wa ahlus samawati, and everything that is above the seven heavens and in the sky, wal ardina, and everything that is upon the earth. How many things did he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mention? Count them. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu wa ahlus samawati wal ardina. And then he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, hatta an-namla, even the ants that walk upon the earth, what do they do? What is their job? Wa hatta al-huta, and even the sea animals, the oceans, rip them open, see them, open the seas, see what you find in them, everything in it, everything underneath it, everything above the skies and everything above it. Know that they pray and they raise their hands and they make dua and they make istighfar for all those scholars, for all those who seek the knowledge of Islam. How great is the status? Not just them, hatta al-malaika, even the angels, and even greater than that, even the Lord himself, yusalluna ala al-muallimi, and they pray and they make dua for the person who teaches others khayr, who teaches others what is halal, who teaches others what is haram. So my question, so how is it that amongst the communities of our Muslims that we hear that they use their foul mouths, that does not suit a Muslim, and it does not suit a Muslim mouth? And how is it that we hear that their hands have used pens, and their hands have lifted up pens, but not just that, that they raise their hands upon the scholars, in what? In rudeness, into reply back, into become cheeky, into become what? It becomes into disrespect for the ulama, disrespect towards the scholars, disrespect towards those who teach the manners, who teach the command, who teach the laws of Allah the Almighty. And if such is the situation of the Ummah, then where shall we go? That when they do not respect their own, then how is it that others will respect us? And it is not possible. And know that you are a nation that I just said of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And know that indeed our loyalty and our submission and our dedication, everything and every breath you take and every eye and every time you blink, everything is for the sake of Allah. Everything is for the sake of Allah. And that's the way it should be. And here is Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu. The dars or a halaqah or a lecture of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam goes on inside the mosque. Which mosque? Masjid al-Nabawi. And Abu Hurairah, he gets up and he walks in the streets of Medina, and he tells them, "Oh people, you're busy doing business, you're busy filling your pockets, you're busy making money." He sallallahu alayhi wasallam is distributing, he's handing out his inheritance in the mosque. And the people let go of their businesses, they let go of their money. They are more interested in what he sallallahu alayhi wasallam has from his inheritance that we could gain. And so all these people come, and all of them see, where is it? And Abu Hurairah says, إِنَّمَا الْأَنْبِيَاءُ لَمْ يُوَرِّثُوا دِينَارًا وَلَا دِرْهَمًا وَلَكِنَّ الْعِلْمَ. From the Anbiya, from the prophets, from Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, you shall not gain a dirham wala dinar. You will not gain any money, but their inheritance is al-ilmu. It is knowledge. It is knowledge. And it is the scholars that hold that knowledge. And by being rude to them, and by raising their pens, and by using foul language against them, know that you may just have degraded a sunnah or a word that he may have said that came from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the matter is very dangerous. And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam says in regards to them, تَسْمَعُونَ مِنِّي وَتُسْمَعُ مِنْكُمْ. And they, the scholars, will listen from me, and you will listen from the scholars. And know, al-ulama'u warathatul anbiya. Then know that the scholars are the inheritors of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So grand the scholars are in the eyes of Allah. Grand the scholars are in the eyes of the angels. Grand the scholars are for all those that are above the skies and within. And grand they are for those who are above the land and under the seas. But the question comes, that where is the respect? Where is your duty? Where is your loyalty? Where is your dedication for the scholars? Know that Allah Azza wa Jal has greatened their status, and He has raised their ranks. For indeed, Allah the Almighty says in regards to them, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءُ. Know, O people, this is not my kalam, this is not anybody's, this is not come from my pocket, for indeed this is a kalam of Al-Bari, and he says, إِنَّمَا. Know, O people, from my people, يَخْشَى اللَّهُ, the only ones that fear me, al-ulama'u, are the ones that are scholars, that have learned my religion for the sake of Allah, and they're out there teaching the people. So the status is great. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهُ. And understand the meaning of fear. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ. It makes a difference, who and ha. It makes a very big difference. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. So the only ones amongst the nations are the scholars who fear Allah in a true manner. But it is a must that we keep a balance. That this whole speech or lecture or halaqah was only dedicated to the laymen, to the public. But what about the ulama themselves? Do they not have a responsibility? And mashallah, today I also sit amongst them. And my message to them is also the same. That know that we have duties. As du'at we have duties. As ulama we have duties. We are role examples for these lame men. We are supposed to be on a level where we can preach these people to the heart. And we must fear when our tongues speak. And we must fear when we walk. And we must fear when we look. For indeed the accountability for the ulama, it is not the same as the lame men. So know that the scholars amongst us, that the message is the same for them. And it is for myself first, and those who sit amongst me, that know Allah the Almighty says, وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا تُرْجَعُونَ فِيهِ إِلَى اللَّهِ. Fear the day when you shall return to your Lord. أقول قولي هذا الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين وجزاكم الله خيرا